guys, and welcome back to my channel. On today's episode, I'm gonna be making a reaction video. This is not the first time I'm making a reaction video. I've actually done one before where I reacted to the flight attendant movie View from the Top. So if you're interested to watch that, I'm gonna link it right here. But on today's video, I'm gonna be reacting to a video that is real this time, not a movie, but what exactly happens inside an aircraft. And I found one particular video uploaded by Strictly Dumpling, and this is a video called World's Best Business Class Food Review of Qatar Airways Business Class from New York to Istanbul. So meaning he flew from New York to Doha and then Doha to Istanbul. It's not really a direct flight. But I haven't really watched the video. I saw maybe the first couple of minutes of the video, but I had to stop because I said, okay, I think I'm gonna make a reaction video for this one. So if you're interested to find out what's my take on his review of the Qatar Airways business class food, just keep on watching. In the past, I've met a couple of my friends or acquaintances who has already flown with Qatar Airways, both in economy and in business class. And the usual comments is about the food. But in the past year, they have actually already revamped the menu, not only in business class but also in economy. But like what I said, we're going to be reacting to the food that they serve in business class of Qatar Airways. And I'm looking forward to a couple of the dishes that he's going to be ordering on board the aircraft, because some of these are really my favorite. I'm not being biased, but there are just some dishes that are really good for an aircraft food. So let's start playing his video. Oh, very cute. So he's now at the airport, going to the boarding area. Oh no, check-in first, of course.
There's no food.
So now he's boarding.
Can't wait to try out the food on this flight.
So that's one thing he's looking forward to. It seems like he's on the Q Suite cabin.
It's really interesting. The seats are kind of like facing each other.
Actually,
So
Qatar, let me pause it right here. Qatar Airways is the first airline to have a suite in business class. Well, technically they're not the first, but Qatar Airways is really the one that has really pushed for this suite in business class. There's another airline, but they didn't really, commercialize it that much. They didn't advertise that much, so not a lot of people knew about them. But Qatar Airways really pushed for this one. They went to all these air shows. The tagline for Q Suite of Qatar Airways is first in business. So let's go ahead.
And my seat is facing that way.
So just to give you a little bit more information about the Q Suite, not all the seats are forward facing. Some of them are facing aftward. So aftward meaning backward in aviation terms. So some of the seats are facing the back of the aircraft or the tail of the aircraft, just to maximize the space. So meaning the seats are like this, like that. This is forward facing and this is aft facing or back facing. So a couple of customers, usually they come on board and then they see this seat that's aft facing. They're like immediately, I don't want this seat, I want the forward facing seat because it's gonna make me dizzy. But to be honest, there isn't any difference. I've also traveled in Q Suite before, and I also got the aft facing Q Suite, but it doesn't really have any difference. It doesn't feel weird because it's only you will only feel the force of the movement of the aircraft during takeoff, but during cruise it's very smooth. Now let's move forward.
Really nice. This is the most private business class seat I've ever been in. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
You even have, let me pause it right there. You even have your do not disturb button. So just in case you want to sleep throughout the flight, you can simply press on that button and none of the flight attendants are going to disturb you unless it's an emergency.
Okay, sure. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you. The only other business class I have pajamas in was
So he's now getting his lounge wear. You usually get this in long haul flights so that you can change to a more comfortable outfit for the rest of the flight. It has slippers inside, and it has the top, and of course the pajamas, and it comes in small, medium, large, extra large, and if I'm not mistaken, do we have XXL? I think we used to have double XL as well.
I actually switched seats because a lot of free seats available, and this is the first time in my life I'm flying an airplane, so the nose of the plane is this way, so I'm flying back. I don't know, I just never did it before. I want to try. So let me show you why I'm already in love with this business class. So this is my cabin. I think when we start flying, this can close. So it'll just be my own little...
So this door has to be maintained in open position for taxi, takeoff, and landing. Meaning it has to be secured, and the flight attendants have the key for this one so that they can unlock it when it's safe to slide your door to the closed position during the cruise period of the flight.
Apartment that's basically bigger than my first New York apartment. Nice little pillow.
That's what you call the takeaway pillow. And you have your safety instruction cards. Let's move ahead with the video. He's talking about all the buttons that he has on his seat. That's the, as you can see right there, that's the do not disturb button that I was talking about earlier for a different seat. So this is what we call, let me pause it right there, the drink that he just showed. It's probably a pineapple margarita. It's part of the after takeoff drinks that we serve, obviously right after takeoff, prior to serving the meals, because we're going to be heating up and preparing for the service, and we don't want the customers to get bored while they're watching their movie. So we serve it with a bowl of warm nuts and a drink of the customer's choice. This is what we call an amuse-bouche, or a palate pleaser. This is something that we give after the takeoff drink, after laying up the table, but before giving you your appetizer. The purpose of the amuse-bouche is to open up your palate, you know, to amuse your palate so that you're going to start salivating, preparing your mouth for the amazing dining experience that you're going to have. Let me show you as well the layout, or the layup of the table. The glass right over here that you see, it's like purplish. This is what we call a water glass, and this is only used for water and for something else that I don't really remember. But for any other drinks, it's served in a tumbler glass that you see right next to it where the juice is served. And he has his own tea light candle, his own personal bread basket, together with the side plate, and his cruets that has a pink Himalayan salt, black pepper, and I believe I can see that he has an olive oil dip on the side as well, with the butter and the olive oil. He chose the Arabic meze. Good choice. Muhammara, the tabbouleh, it's one of my favorite Arabic meze. And the last one is the hummus. He did not show it. It's the classic hummus. And there you go. I am salivating right now. Like, I really want to have this. It's one of my favorite food that we have on board the aircraft. Like, if none of the customers are having it, and it, you know, I eat this one because it's just really delicious. And I must say that the hummus that Qatar Airways have on board the aircraft, it's one of the best. I don't know, like, whenever I eat outside, I'm looking for the distinct taste that we have on this hummus and this tabbouleh. The parsley on the tabbouleh is chopped really finely, but not so small, not too big, and the acidity is just perfect. Even the muhammara, although it's not really my favorite, it has a sweet, spicy-ish flavor to it, but not really my favorite, but still I would have it. But usually it's just the tabbouleh and the hummus that I would have. Whenever I would travel on business class, this is the only thing that I would eat. after takeoff, and then I sleep for the rest of the flight. Oh, he had 2 appetizers, because usually when we do our training, they explain to us you take 1 preference for the appetizer, 1 preference for the main course, and then you proceed to the cheese and then the dessert and whatever else they would like to have. But apparently he had 2 appetizers, which you can do as well when you're traveling. I mean, if you're that hungry, why not? Or if you want to try everything, of course we're not gonna say no, as long as we still have it on board the aircraft. Right. So for his main course, he's having the beef tenderloin in butter something. If I were him, I would have chosen the paneer tikka masala, the vegetarian option, because it's just very flavorful. It's healthy and it's heavy. Or if I really wanted to go for that Arabic experience, since he already had the Arabic meze, I'm gonna go for the chicken makbous, chicken machbous. If you're familiar with chicken biryani, it's almost similar to that, but I prefer the flavor of the chicken machbous or makbous. If you are wondering how we prepare or how we cook all this food on board the aircraft, actually they come pre-cooked already from the catering department. Everything is prepared. They come in foils, separate foils. The sauce comes in 1 tub, and then the meat, and then the vegetable, and then the protein, and they're all packed in one like bento style foil, pre-cooked, and then they just give us the instruction on how many minutes to heat it up. Should it be dry heat, medium heat? We place it inside the oven and it comes out hot. Hopefully it has to be hot. And then we have people who are specifically galley trained, but nowadays everybody's galley trained, meaning you're trained to how to plate the dish, so that if a customer travels from this flight to the next one and he orders the same food, hopefully the food is plated the same way. For the dessert, he ordered the maple pumpkin tart. I've never really personally tried this one. But usually for the dessert, I prefer having the berries because it's fresh, or the fruits. It looks too sweet for me, so I'm gonna skip on that. We can see him now having the sliders from the light options. So I don't know if this is right after his breakfast or dinner. No, New York flight. New York is nighttime from, yeah. So that's like dinner. I don't know if this is the middle of the flight or right after his dinner. So on this part, it seems like he's having something from the food tasting menu. It's a separate menu that you get. And it offers you some small snacks that you can have before or after, or in the middle. But it's a mix of everything. You have sweet, savory, couple of sauces right there. I think this one is like a mint chutney, something like that. But this is really delicious. Very refreshing as well. Qatar Airways in business class, I forgot to explain it to you. They have this thing called dine anytime concept. Meaning, we just give the menu to the customer and then they can decide whenever they wish to have their meals at whatever point of flight. So for example, after takeoff from New York, which is technically dinner time, some would order dinner, but if you prefer to have something from the breakfast menu, you can do that as well. You can customize how you eat the entire flight. So if you want to have something light after takeoff, like let's say the Arabic meze, and then say, okay, clear my table, I want to take a nap for 1 hour. Please come back after 1 hour and check up on me. I want to eat something. And then you wake up and you say, okay, I just want to have ice cream. They can do that as well. But it's quite inconvenient for the flight attendants, to be honest. But this is to give a more defined dining experience again for the customers, a more unforgettable dining experience. The ground staff took him to the Al Murjan Lounge. In the Al Murjan Lounge, again, you can have an array. They have an array of selection of food, wines, desserts, and you can feast on everything that they have there if you're traveling on business class. I guess this guy from Strictly Dumpling really had a good in-flight experience. He really enjoyed it. He's lucky because it's a light load flight, so it means that, you know, he got 3 seats and he got to eat whatever he wanted. Usually that's not the case. Just a reality check: when you travel, we are not catered 100% of the meals, meaning we don't have 100% of the soup for 42 customers. We don't have 100% of the Arabic meze for 100% of the customers, because obviously not everybody will have. So it comes in percentage as well. Like maybe we're gonna have 20 of the Arabic meze because it's quite a popular choice whenever whenever people travel with Qatar Airways. So manage your expectations as well, because sometimes actually, there's a footnote on the menu that we apologize just in case you don't get your first choice of meal. But whenever this happens, the flight attendants, trust me, they will do their best to try to accommodate your requests to the best of their capability within the constraints of that aircraft. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you have any requests for or suggestions for videos that you would like me to make a reaction to, just let me know in the comment section. This has been Days with Kath. I will see you next time. Bye! Okay, Khalil is playing with my lights. No! What are you doing? Ah! You're playing with mommy's lights. So here we can see I don't have a light anymore.